Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn show, man. Today is August the 9th, 2026. We have 4 WNBA games on the board for today. Appreciate everybody for tuning in yesterday. I told you guys I had a little bit of a lag. I'm going to be completely honest. I have not had a chance to really mess with my computer and do a lot of stuff. Just a lot of things going on in life, man. So it might still be a little bit of a lag today. If it is, I apologize. Hopefully you guys are able to hear me. If you just listened to the show yesterday, you could have put your phone down. You probably found some ways to make some money yesterday. We talked about them, and it was a good day yesterday. Minnesota minus the 4.5, minus the 5.5, winner against the Aces. Indiana got out to I think 11-3 lead or 11-0 lead or something like that, and then just kind of gave it away against Chicago. So they didn't cover the first quarter, but they covered the first half, and then Seattle, Portland over the 179.5. Over 179 was easy yesterday. So 3-1 day yesterday on the plays that we talked about yesterday. Again, hopefully you guys found some ways to make some money. Try to keep the show short today and jump right into it. So we started with Jackson, AI Sports Bet Tool, linked in the description as it always is. Today, kept the same prompt rolling. Yesterday was an easy winner with Natasha Howard over her rebounds and assists. I think it was 8.5. She finished with like 14. So I told you guys, the bump was fine too. As far as today, same prompt. I'm getting tired of reading it, but I'll read it again. Analyze today's WNBA slate to identify the highest value opportunity for player props. Focus on lines that show a significant discrepancy against recent 5-game rolling averages, tracking changes in usage rate due to injuries, or favorable defensive matchups, specifically targeting matchups with points, rebounds, and assists. Provide the data, underlying metrics, and reasoning for each recommendation. So the number one play on the board for today is Erica Wheeler of the Los Angeles Sparks over her 15.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It said comes in at plus 120 on FanDuel. So the setup, Wheeler is in the middle of a heater, and the books haven't fully priced in. Over her last 5 games, she's averaging 20.8 points, rebounds, and assists. That's 5.3 points higher than today's line of 15.5. The 10-game sample was even more absurd, 21.8 rebounds and assists, hitting the over 90% clip over the stretch. Why it's real, this isn't a fluke spike. Wheeler's season average sits at 16.73 points, rebounds, and assists, meaning even her baseline clears this line, but her recent surge tells the real story. She's hit the over in 80% of her last 5 games, 90% of her last 10. The market has been slow to adjust to her expanded role. The matchup, the Sparks are catching the Golden State Valkyries at home, and Wheeler's usage should stay elevated. Her defensive matchup rating is a 1.0, the most favorable position possible grade, meaning the Valkyries' defense is particularly vulnerable to her skill set. When she's on the road, she's averaged 14.86 points, rebounds, and assists, but this number is dragged down by early season struggles. The last 10 tells much more of the story. So the concern, her road splits, 35.71 over rate, and her 14 road games are the one blemish. But her recent form is overwhelming. She's cleared the 15.5 in 4 of her last 5, and the only miss wasn't by much. I think the other thing to note here is that she's not on the road. She's at home. So I'm not sure why Jackson got confused about that. But again, that's why you do your own analysis and make sure it makes sense first. But that'll be the play that I'll leave you guys with for today. Let's jump into it, get through the 4 games that we have on the board. So the first one is Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty. Line in this one opened at 2.5 yesterday. And then, of course, the announcements came out that Becky Hammond was thinking about resting the big 3 for the Las Vegas Aces, and they've since been ruled out. So this line shot up from 2.5 all the way up to 10.5. At this point, not a lot of value if you want the New York Liberty. In my personal opinion, I don't really want to lay this many points with the Aces. With the Liberty. Now, of course, it should be a Liberty spot. Should be another big letdown spot for the Aces. It's back-to-back with travel, plus 5th straight road game. There's been a ton of games played in a few days as well. Libs do have in-season revenge as well. They have the rest advantage. They're coming off 2 easy games against Seattle. No travel either, but they are just 1-6 ATS in their last 7. They love to play around with their food. So total on this one has come down. I agree with that. I'm probably just going to sit on the sideline. Probably won't play this game. If I had to make one play, though, it'd probably be a look, honestly, towards the Aces early. Honestly, I know that they're without, their big 3, but I just don't trust the Liberty, and I think that they could come around, mess around, play with their food, and have to come back in this game and use the second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter to, eventually get a cover. So this is not when I'm rushing to the window to go later 11.5 to 10.5, whatever number it is that you can get. I think if I had to play, it would be aces in some form of way early. First quarter would probably be the best way. Get in and get out. Aces are the much fresher team, but again, they're gonna be missing a ton in this game. I don't really like laying points with the Liberty, especially when it starts to get to double digits. They split the cover with the New York Liberty with the Seattle Storm. They covered the first one, didn't cover the second one. So yeah, I would be looking towards aces early in this one. Next one up is Phoenix and Washington line. It's at 1.5. Let me see what this opened at. Might have opened at 1. I'm just curious. I actually flip a favorite. So Washington opened, looks like, they were minus -0.5 point, and they were actually plus 1.5 on a couple books, and they flipped now to the favorite in this game. Total from 168.5 up to the 160, down to the 167.5 that you guys see on the screen. For Phoenix, not necessarily the greatest spot. I do think this is much more of a Washington spot. Phoenix is coming off back-to-back losses against Connecticut and Atlanta. They also aren't in the best travel spot with it being their 4th straight road game, only 1 day of rest in between. And then you got Washington, continues to be the hottest team in the WNBA. We cashed with them on Friday. They got rid of the Atlanta Dream. They've won 6 in a row and have covered 7 in a row, and now 8 of their last 9. This Washington team, going back to pre-All-Star break, has just been really, really good. Post All-Star break, I wanted to look at some numbers just because of the Kelsey Plum trade, and I feel like she's been there for most of those games. We haven't seen a ton of those games yet, but she's been there for most. Washington has been a better offensive team. That was the staggering part. Washington's been better than Phoenix offensively. They've been a better defensive team. They played the tougher schedule. They have a better net rating. They've been a better rebounding team. I like Washington chances in this one, and it's the only way that I'm looking at playing this game. It's also their 6th straight home game, going back to pre-All-Star break as well. I think Phoenix gonna start to correct the ship, I think, a little bit. But when you can't beat Connecticut in that last game, and every single game means so much to your playoff positioning, it's really just over. I think it's slowly but surely. The realization is kind of setting in, and I just don't trust Phoenix to be able to get stops. And their offense, just not having a lot of time to practice and get Kelsey Plum really acclimated. They got the win against Chicago, and they've really struggled since then. Even against a Connecticut team that has a lot of size, that's a great rebounding team, a lot of resemblances to the Washington team. So Washington minus the 1.5 money line would be the way that I'm playing this game. I do agree with the move coming in, the money coming in on this Phoenix, fading Phoenix and taking Washington in the spot. Here's the path, though. I thought about this too. The path for Phoenix to win is them being able to knock down some shots. Now, Phoenix has been terrible shooting the 3-point shot, but again, against Washington, you got to be able to knock down shots from the outside because Kiki Iriafin and Shakira Austin and Lauren Betts, they don't let you get inside the paint. They're a really good rebounding team. They're a really good team as far as giving up second chance points. So if Kelsey Plum can get hot from the 3-point line, if Kalia Copper can match her, if DeWanna Bonner can knock down a couple, it should be a game where AT kind of struggles to score the basketball, specifically in the paint with Shakira Austin and Kiki Iriafin down there. So we'll see what it looks like, but I think Washington is the right side. All right, next game is Dallas and Minnesota. This line is getting shorter. Dallas, what I saw was Dallas plus 6.5. And the total 178.5. It don't look like it's changed much. Actually, 179. So I guess it has come down a little bit. All the way down as low as 4.5 on a couple books as well. So Dallas is taking some money. And I guess that means AZ Fudd is probably going to play. She was listed as questionable in the injury report, and Alicia Clark is listed as out. Minnesota can submit the injury report late, of course, because they are playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. I think they had everybody active yesterday. So you got Dallas, who's really, I think it's an advantageous spot. Like, as much as I would want to bet Dallas in this spot, 6.5 is a lot to lay. As much as I would want to bet Dallas, I don't know, man. Dallas, they're coming off a game where they're coming in with the rest advantage, of course. They do have an in-season revenge. They've lost to Minnesota 3 times already, and they're coming off of losses against Golden State the other day. So they should be focused in this game. They just haven't been playing their best basketball as of late. 3-6 ATS in their last 9. Losses to the Washington Mystics. 2 of them in their last 3 or 4 losses, and then you lose to the Golden State Valkyries. All teams that play really good defense. this Minnesota team can turn it up defensively as well, and also they can score pretty much better than any other team in the WNBA, maybe outside of Indiana. So Dallas is hair scratching to me. Just I'm not sure what I'm gonna get from Dallas. They've really struggled recently. Again, just 3-9 in their last 3-6 in their last 9 ATS, and they've also struggled against Minnesota. 0-3, like I said, straight up and against the spread. I think one of those losses were by like 18 or 20. The other two were by like 6 and 8. So it's about a 12-point differential when you put all three of those together. I got some systems that back Dallas in this game. I think the more I thought about the game, couple like 3 or 4 systems that back Dallas in this game. But the more I thought about the game, the more I thought Minnesota maybe early. They pick it up right where they left off at yesterday against Las Vegas. They will be, maybe a little bit more in tune. Dallas isn't the greatest starting team in the WNBA. They're just 15-17 against the number in the first half, 3-4 ATS if they're road dogs. But then I look at Minnesota. They haven't been great early either. Just 4-3 ATS in their last 10 as a home favorite in the first half. So I don't really love that. And I know Minnesota really wanted that game yesterday against the Aces after losing the last time that they were in Las Vegas 100-97. So I'm not sure what I'll do with this game, man. I kind of want to bet Minnesota early though, but maybe Minnesota first half, and maybe Dallas can get better as the game goes on. But none of that if AZ Fudd is not playing. That's the key in this game, in my opinion. So that's my thought process there. Next game and last one is Golden State in Las Vegas. Line is at 6.5. In total, sitting at 169.5. This opened 5.5. So Golden State has taken a little bit of money, and the total about right where it opened at. So we do have I guess the spot wise, it does favor the Sparks, but can you really bet the Sparks is the question. So Xander Sealy is listed as questionable. Offensively, that's one of the better offensive players for this Golden State team. And on the Spark side of things, Akoa Makani is listed as questionable, and Ray Burrell is listed as probable for the Sparks. So Golden State, the situational stuff is, just 1 day of rest. They're coming off the win against Dallas on the road, second straight road game for them. Again, at the rest disadvantage overall. And the Sparks, first home game off, a pretty long road trip. They did win as a dog in their last game against Minnesota. The game before that, I think they lost. So this is like third game in 4 nights for them as well. They do have double-digit in-season revenge, and again, the rest advantage as well in this spot. So the way I thought about this game is I don't really want to. I don't want the Sparks. Like, I don't want the Sparks. I would love to have Xander Sealy in. I think Golden State is the better. I think Golden State is the better team. They're the second best team in the WNBA based on their record. The Sparks not so much. I wanted to kind of shift towards the total though. I kind of feel like if the Sparks can control the tempo, which they may, this should be an over game. Golden State is still the slowest pace team in the WNBA, 15th in pace. And I say still because I looked at these numbers post All-Star break. But the Sparks are still third in pace. We know that they like to get up and down the floor. 12th in defensive rating though. So if you play fast and no defense, then the Golden State Valkyries should be able to score, of course. And Golden State offense has been good. They're 4th in offensive rating post All-Star break. The Sparks turn it over really frequently. Golden State actually leads the league in turnover rate. So that's a major advantage for Golden State as well. And the Valks, don't look down, 5-0 to their team total over post All-Star break. So they've hit their team total every single time. I think they scored 90 plus against the Dallas Wings in that last game. And that was in Dallas. I really hate betting on their offense, but the number show that they have been scoring the basketball lately. That's probably the way that I would look in this game, is some form of Golden State team total over. Maybe just later points with the Valkyries thinking that they should be able to get the job done against the Sparks here. Would love to have Xander Sealy in, but I guess their defense would get better without her playing because she is more of an offensive threat. So those are my thoughts as far as the sides and stuff go. And just really quickly, if I'm not lagging too much, I want to try to transition over to Outlier, and I will try my best to get this fixed today for people that are watching and not people that like to watch and not really necessarily listen. So this is Outlier. The show is always presented by Outlier. Make sure you guys use that link to sign up and save yourself some coin if you do so. So Erica Wheeler is here. We talked about this at the beginning of the show. Her points, rebounds, and assists. Now, granted, it's Golden State, but their defense has not been as great recently. They did hold the Dallas Wings down. That was missing AZ Fudd. This is interesting because I kind of feel like Erica Willett has been hooping. I mean, the numbers kind of show it as well, right? What is this? 6 straight. So it looks like 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 of her last 11, she's gone over this 15.5 points, rebounds, and assists. The Golden State Valkyries are the number 1 defensive team in the WNBA. They give up the few assists as well, and are 7th in rebounds allowed. So yeah, I think looking at Erica Willett, we zoom in a little bit to her last 10 games. That's what Jackson was talking about. 21.8 points, rebounds, and assists. This looks good, man, especially at home with the rest advantage. Again, they have played 3 straight road games. In her last home game, she was playing against Phoenix and didn't play that well. But Erica Willett has been playing really, really well, man. Her minutes are solidified. Without Plum being there, I think she's been taking on a little bit more of the offensive, duties in general, just the playmaking and scoring as well. So if we look at games without Kelsey Plum, who is no longer on the team, let's see. Let's take Plum Dog out and then see where we sit now. Yeah, so without Plum, over the number goes up to 19.28. So you can see that the overs here still about the same. 67% hit rate for Erica Willett over her points, rebounds, and assists. Man, I think that's a pretty good look. I would also consider NECA in this game as well. NECA Ogumake, just because she'll be a primary offensive person. Her rebounds, her points, maybe even her points plus rebounds. NECA should be in a pretty good spot. Let's see what her points and rebounds are. I do think if you're again just because I saw her name pop up, if you're looking at somebody in that Washington game, you want to bet on the 3-point shooters. You want to bet on Kalia Copper getting hot. You want to bet on Kelsey Plum getting hot from the 3-point line. So if I'm betting lottos, I'm probably taking one of them to hit 3 or 4 threes today, because I do think that's a pretty good number. So looking at NECA, let's just go head to head. We can see that in her last game, she only had 9 and 7. And that was the only time that she faced them earlier this season. So the Valkyries did a really good job. They were at home. They won that game by 20. Kelsey Plum I want to say Kelsey Plum did play in that game. So we look at NECA. Let's just go full season. Let's also subtract Kelsey from playing with her as well and see what her numbers do. So we take Kelsey Plum off the floor. Let's see what this looks like. So yeah, 26.28 is her points plus rebounds is what she's averaging. Her line is only at 22.5. So this is a really good number on NECA as well. Absolutely killing it. 15 of the 18 games that she's played, she's cleared this number without Kelsey Plum being there. And you can see more recently, she has been doing really, really well. So I would probably be looking at NECA as well at home with the rest advantage in this spot. It's open 24.5. It got bet down to 22.5, back up to 23.5, and now back down to 22.5. I think NECA should be in a really good spot today. Her points plus rebounds. The one thing the Valkyries don't do well is they're not the best rebounding team. So, and I think that the offense will have to run through NECA again as well. She could see some double teams because I do feel like, the Valkyries coach, I can't think of her name, but she sends a lot of doubles towards the bigs for sure. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to waste too much of your time going through the player props, but just kind of showing you guys the way that I look at player props and, what makes sense in my mind. So giving you guys some of that for today. All right, let's jump into, those are all 4 games. Let's jump into a quick recap and then we'll get off of here. So, hit the like if you can as well. Subscribe to the channel if you guys have not. And let's jump into it. So, first up, we have I will be looking towards Las Vegas early. I think if I had to play that game, but I'm staying away from that one. I will not be playing that game. I do like Washington today. Minus probably just money line at this point. Probably can get a good number. They only -1. Minnesota first. First half? Yeah, Minnesota first half. Maybe they run out of gas late. But again, you need AZ in. So we'll see what that looks like. You can get a -2.5 right now. So I guess I'll leave that here. I do think Golden State can win, but I do like the player props on the Spark side of things. And that was Erica Wheeler over her 15.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And then Nneka. I don't know how to spell Ogwumike. Let's see. I do know how to spell Ogwumike. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I know how to spell Ogwumike. OGWU Mike. There we go. Yeah. Nneka Ogwumike over her 22.5 points plus rebounds is what I like in that spot. But I do think the Valkyries are good enough to win that game by 7. So I'll be looking at the Valkyries as well. Golden State minus. I guess that equals the Golden State team total as well. Golden State minus the 6.5. I think you can get 6s. Golden State minus the 6 is what I'll be betting in that game. We'll see how the injury report shakes out for some of these. And that'll be it for today, man. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Resources, they're all listed in the description. Jackson, Out Loud, Moneyball, and Eyes Jam. And I will catch you guys in the next one, man. Enjoy the Sunday. Enjoy the games. Catch you guys back tomorrow. I'm out.